Okay, so I think we'll just start by having everyone introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their role in the show.
Cool. My name is Mike Atchison. I'm a producer of the show. I'm a stand-up comedian and improv artist and writer. Um, my duty on the show is, I take care of the ticket sales. Um, I also help with curating the lineup with the rest of the other comics. I'm also the writer of the show, which means like besides stand up, I help like create games and sketches. And yeah, that's my role.
I can go. I'm Marcus Banks. I'm a stand-up comedian based in Chicago, Illinois. I do a lot of the promotion for the show, so using Meetup or Facebook groups and things of that nature. I also contribute to. I either perform stand-up and I like assist everyone else with curation of lineups and also with like writing and helping out at the end point of the games in terms of like making sure it's straight and something that we all like. So.
All right. I guess I'm up next. Justin Walker, stand-up comedian and writer for the group. I write content for the group. I also help um, do sketches, film sketches, ideas, live sketches for the group. And I also participate in the games. And yeah, that's pretty much my role. I just do stand up and I write. That's a career I want to pursue long term.
Nice.
Okay, that leaves me. I'm Hudson, and I'm a stand-up comedian and improviser. I haven't done improv in a while, but anyways, for the group, I'm just kind of helping with like back end stuff for the most part, like helping create content and curating lineups as well, like just kind of giving input on things. And then when shows are being run, just kind of helping with seating and like talking with the comedians and making sure like, they're having a good time.
Cool. Okay, so we can just get into the structure of the actual show and what people can expect to see when they come. Anybody can answer.
I can start off. So, what my best friend Black is all about, it's about celebrating and showcasing the best Black comedic talent around the city of Chicago and all over the country once we get to that point. So, what the structure is, we start the show with, straight stand up. There's a host who like gets the crowd all warmed up, and then we start bringing stand ups one by one. The first will be like a guest spot for like an up and coming Black comic who's, making good strides in the scene. And then throughout the show, we start bringing like the strong veterans who don't, who probably don't get enough time across the city, or in some capacity, and just give them a place to shine. And then also during the show, we also incorporate improv, sketch, or games to give it a variety element. And usually, whatever the variety may be for the show, it evolves around Blackness.
So what's the culture of the show like? Is there like music, intermissions, like how, like what's the experience like besides just the comedy aspect?
I can take that. So while we're seating people, like we have a playlist of music that to get people hyped up to like set the mood. Um, and then besides that, usually the order of the show is like what Mike said. So stand up, then we do a game, and then we have our headliners. So far we haven't implemented music during the show, but like we were open minded to anything. This is only our fifth show at Lincoln Lodge and our sixth one overall. So for the most part, we focused on comedy, whether it be sketches or stand up, but we're open minded to anything.
Right, and I also
What's
want to. Oh, I'm
Go
so
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
go
also
ahead.
wanted to add, after the show, like at the Lincoln Lodge, was like a bar, so people are free to like hang out and socialize after the show. just to like, help build community in a way. And during the show, in terms of culture, we make sure we show different types of blackness, because we're not a monolith. Like a lot of people assume that. So like I know some people are like, oh, it's an urban show. I'm like, no, it's not really an urban show, it's just a black show. You know what I mean? So you can have like, black people born in the city, black people born in the country, straight, gay, middle class, like it don't matter, we're all together in this. And I think truly to celebrate, you have to get different pieces of it.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, you all mentioned games. What type of games are these?
I want to say I might kind of like spearhead them for the most part. I feel like in putting them all together, but the games are usually thought up by the group, and we just kind of like try to make them interactive. Something from the crowd. We always have one person that we come and have them up on stage, and basically like I want to talk about one of the games that we've had in the past was like a music game, and we all came up with different lyrics. And then we kind of had the audience member guess, was the lyric coming from one of the members of My Best Friend is Black or coming from somebody from Young Money. So it's just kind of like, we try to put a spotlight on Black culture and make it funny, like poke fun at ourselves and Black culture in a way. And anybody can add anything to that too.
Right. And the game before that, which was our first game of like ever, we did this like, do you know your Black movies? Which like instantly lit the crowd up. So we bring audience members from the crowd to play the game to go against each other. And I swear not, the first people that went up was a Black dude versus a white dude. It was just hilarious trying to see this white dude struggle to like name the movies. Cause it was funny because he knew the phrases, but he was like so young and white, he thought they were just memes. You know what I mean? So like, I think we had like Eat the Cake anime, and he thought it was like, oh, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce, Drunk in Love or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just shows how like it's kind of
Yeah,
like the subtext like is in a deeper meaning. Like they observe her so much, but they don't like actually live it.
yeah,
And it's
definitely.
funny when it's like exposed, like not exposed, but like brought to the surface.
That's cool. How did you all come up with the name for the show?
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
I came up with the name of the show. Like I pitched it to the group. The group voted on it, but like I like really like it was like I just wanted something that really sort of threw in your face that identity was a big part of the show. And I say that not in the sense that I wanted the word Black necessarily had to be in the show or whatever, but it was just I kind of wanted to play with the idea of identity and how people think of Black people. So I just came up with this list of like play on like identity. So like one of the suggestions was ancestry.comedy. Another suggestion was affirmative action with an exclamation mark, point, and just sort of play with that sort of idea of what it means to be Black. And I just also wanted to be funny as well. I thought it would also be something funny for white people to say when they, when we get bigger and they come see our show and they have to say my best friend is Black. I just thought that shit would be funny. That stuff, my bad, kids.
Yeah, dude. Every time I'm at a show and and there's like a white host, they're always like, "Yo, like, do you want me to plug anything?" And I'm so happy to make them go up there and say, "This next comic runs a show called My Best Friend is Black." And every time they're always like, "Oh, I swear I'm not racist or whatever." And it's amazing when I come up. So I love the name just for that reason.
Yeah, same here. Like you'd be so like again when a white host says it and the crowd immediately starts laughing. Like the hell is that? It already gets them curious to know, which is already promotion. Because now I got your curiosity, and after you want to ask, like, oh, tell me more about this show, and the empire builds.
Yeah, the name is definitely catchy. It definitely makes you want to know what the show is about. That's why when I saw it, I'm like, why do you all think it's important to have a show like this for the culture?
I know I touched base on the monolith already because I think it's a good safe space to express yourself. Whether it be, I mean, because the genesis of the show, me and Marcus went to this black room. You can't. I'm not gonna name the name because I ain't trying to start no beef or nothing. But we went to this room and we weren't really treated right. Like we signed up to go up to this mic, but they didn't put us up. And then the comics, they did a comedy or whatever, but it was kind of, I want to say outdated and not.
It was like Comic View, dude, like 90s Comic View comedy.
Yeah, not shit on Comic View because Comic View has its moments, but like it didn't feel inclusive. They were like kind of more. They were like comfortable taking down marginalized people within the black community. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're here. It's like we're trying to like more like celebrate it because like if anyone came to the show, it'll already be a different vibe than what most people would do a stereotypical black show.
Yeah, just to add to that, when I remember just being furious in Mike's car at how vibrant the audience was at the place, but like how like toxic the environment felt and how very like hegemonic it felt and how very like what's the phrase? Very like very much like what's the phrase when people just try to hoard the culture or whatever? Just like very, I forget the phrase, but it felt like Mike said, it felt very exclusive. And yeah, we just wanted to create a space where all Black people could feel safe and enthused and comfortable in expressing themselves, and that every audience member upon the spectrum of Blackness could feel comfortable and included and spoken for and have someone that they can connect to.
Oh, and to add on that, and everyone on this call can relate to it, all of the producers. There are so many white shows in Chicago that will only book like one or two Black person on a show, right? So like you'll be like the token Black person on the show, and it kind of like it's weird in a way to perform in front of a white audience, but they really can't relate, or you have to like fix up your set just to be relatable to a white audience. I think that's not fair to you as an artist. And another thing I wanted to say is that oh God, I'm blanking out. But yeah, it's very important that we do this show just so like everyone can like enjoy themselves. And like plus I also run shows. I've run another show and like sometimes it'd be a majority white lineup and it just happens every now and then, the way booking works. And you'll have a Black person or a Black couple in the audience like, the show was all right, but I really wasn't really feeling these white comics. It was kind of weird or they were too obscure or I just couldn't really see where they were coming from. And that's real. You know what I mean? Because there's been plenty of times I've seen a white dude go up and say some shit. I'm like, bro, what are you even talking about?
I want to add one thing. I think something that's like really rewarding too, doing this, knowing that I've had like other Black women in the audience come up to me after and say like, oh, I can relate. I had the same thing happen when I was a kid or when I was growing up. And I'm like, that's so special because it's like, if you are that, I feel like my experience, it's like been a lot of the times I'm the only Black person and the only woman. And it's like, when you're like Mike said, you're in front of this audience that's all white. It's like, maybe they just don't understand or maybe this wasn't funny. So just like knowing that there's going to be people in the audience that look like you that maybe you will understand or have a little bit more tolerance of your like upbringing, I guess, is really special.
Yeah, that's really dope. So with getting this started, did you all face any challenges trying to put this together?
I think the biggest challenge is starting with any group is just figuring out chemistry. It's kind of an ongoing thing because being that we're all stand-ups for the most part, stand-up is like a one-man game. So now you're trying to like bring everyone together. It's kind of like the Justice League. You're like, oh, why would I want to pair with another hero? I could say the word by myself, but sometimes it's bigger than one thing. So I think like just making sure like vibing with each other, make sure we hear each other out and try to like bring creative ideas to make one great project.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out our other member, Chloe, who couldn't make it to the call. But yeah, I think getting the actual show started was a relatively easy process because we have a good relationship with the Lincoln Lodge, which is where our primary like home for our shows. The other venue we've been like a bunch of COVID stuff has gotten in the way of that, but we're looking to get that started in March. That's our Southside location I'm referring to. And yeah, like Mike said, we as a group, we don't just want to do stand-up shows. We want to implement variety, we want to implement sketches. We want to like maximize our talent as a group and try to make the group the main focus of our shows. And sometimes there's like we all have like other projects outside of this. We have lives outside of it. So sometimes it's difficult to find the time to just be able to sit and like work on content and not just work on the stand-up show. So we're figuring it out.
Do you all have a favorite part of the show?
Money. That's my favorite part. I love.
My favorite part is looking at the ticket sales go up.
Right, when that Eventbrite check goes through, that's my favorite part. It is rewarding to see like the fruit of your labor. You know, while money is important, like it is good to have a good, reputable show that not only people want to see, but comics want to be a part of. Like every week, like I swear, somebody hit it like, "Hey, yo, man, I'm really going to be on the show. Like, you know, if you got, tell me what I got to do, I'll do whatever." So it's really good feeling to know like it's a word of mouth thing, and like the show's so good. Like I have other comics ask about my other producers. You know, like the other day, someone like, "Hey, Mike, who's that one girl?" Like, she was trying to say Ro's name, but she was saying like Zoe Mo. I'm like, you mean Ro? Like, yeah, just give me different stuff. But it was good just to like, you know, put her on, and now she can excel at her own career. You know, and I think the show's trying to uplift us all as individuals.
And how often do you all have shows?
As of now, we're averaging about twice a month. That's what we're trying to get at, like steady. I think the only thing is just finding that good second venue that's concrete. Because right now we have a couple runs at Annoyance, which is all right, but we really want to see what the second room is like. So as of now, it is 2 shows a month, and then once we go deeper, where my best friend is black, we can do pop-up shows. So if we want to do like 2 more that month, we can, just because we got the clout now.
Okay. About how many people would you say average in attendance?
Depends on the room. So like when we first started, we had a smaller room, you know, because we just wanted to just get a feel for like how the show would go and like in the crowd and stuff. But we actually wound up selling out that room, so it's 50 seats, but we had to add about 8 or 9 more chairs. Like people had to go up to the bar to buy extra tickets because we sold out online. And so after that, we transitioned to the bigger room, like the biggest room at the Lincoln Lodge, which holds about 100 seats. And we sold out. We didn't sell exactly 100 because of COVID. So we also want to take safety precaution at our shows. So we space people out. So instead of doing the full 100, we did about like 80, still sold it out. And so it just depends on the room. But the takeaway from it is whatever room we gonna sell out. So come see my best friend is black. Tell everybody, tell your friends, because the ticket's gonna go.
That part.
So I will add on that, the minimum will be 50. It's always 50. Like we never like undersold tickets. It's always been like over 50 every time, which is like not easy for shows. There's like, if you're ever in like ask people who are in a comedy show, like 50 is a blessing. Like we'll take it.
During a pandemic.
Yeah.
Facts.
Is there a lot of preparation that goes into the show, like for everybody, the comics, the producers?
Oh, it's a whole thing. So yeah, we got to have like meetings once a week. The first step is always picking the lineup. That can be tricky because you know everyone has a comic we want to put on, like who's funny, who should be the headliner, you know who should open up, who should be hosting. And then, you know, you want to make sure you have a balanced lineup of men, women, straight, LGBTQ, and make sure it's a good show to present.
That's good. Very inclusive show while still sticking to the Black culture. I guess from here, if there's any last points or takeaways anybody wants to say or put out there about the show.
Anyone can come. So just because we're an all-Black show and that it will always be an all-Black show, we encourage anyone to come and laugh with us, as our website says.
I mean, yeah, we are Black. We do celebrate Blackness, but we do like support laughter and comedy most importantly. So yeah, please come along if you're interested. See what we're about. I will say, ever since we did this show, I've seen other shows pop up like all Asian showcases, and I've seen all Hispanic showcases. Like people are now comfortable to celebrate their identities, which is a beautiful thing to see.
That's great.
I will say, if you're a Black person in any community and you are interested in doing comedy, pursue it. Because like one of the things I've learned while we were like booking shows is like how rare, for example, like an all Black improv group or an all Black, all female, all woman, or all, you know, like just, it's rare, you know what I mean? And so like part of the reason of starting this variety show is also just to uplift Black talent and showcase other Black talent. So if you're interested, you know what I'm saying, and it's something you're trying to pursue, give us a shout out. We're always looking for new acts that we can uplift.
I don't have anything to add about the show, but I just want to say thank you so much for like reaching out to us and doing this interview. Like, I really appreciate it. So it's been nice talking with you.
No problem. Thank you all for responding and showing up today. I appreciate it. Okay, so from here, just tell the people, you know, where they can find you, where they can check you out and get tickets.
All right. So yo, as a group, please follow us at My Best Friend Is Black Show on Instagram. We have shows every second week. No, I'm sorry, every second Thursday of the month at the Lincoln Lodge, and we're opening new venues and we're having more shows. So please follow us to keep track on us. And yeah, come be part of the journey.
Yes, yes, definitely check them out. Well, thank you all so much for taking your time out today to speak with me. Definitely will be coming to the show. You'll see me somewhere in the back with my camera and you'll know that's me. And yeah, I'll reach out when it's posted and let you all know so you can share. But yeah, you all have a great evening, great Thursday night and weekend.
All right, you too, Lanita. Thanks again.
Tunali.
Lanita.
Thank you.
Stay Black.
Bye.